Good afternoon. We will reconvene from this morning. We will be announcing this is the first budget public hearing for the Board of County Commissioners, day September 6, 2022. If you could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Pledge of Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. I want to thank Roger and your staff for preparing this budget for us. It's been a year in work in progress, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
Started.
Thank you.
County Attorney.
Good evening, Michael Jacob for the County Attorney's Office. We have reviewed your affidavit of publication for this evening's proceedings, and we are sufficient to proceed. The clerk has been provided a copy.
Great, thank you. I now hereby open the public hearing this evening on the fiscal year 22-23 tentative millage and budget for Lee County. If anyone in our audience is here for the purpose of contesting their assessment, they should contact the Lee County property appraiser. Tonight, we are holding the tentative millage and budget hearing as required by Florida Statutes Chapter 129 and 200. The hearing will be conducted as follows. A, the board will first convene as Board of Port Commissioners and proceed as follows. Number one, budget presentation by Port Authority Deputy Executive Director. Public comment for tentative budget, Port Authority budget. This will be your only opportunity to comment on all budgets the Board of Port Commissioners has authority over. There will be no further opportunity during this hearing to provide your comments. 3, Board of Port Commissioners discussion and motions. 4, adoption of the fiscal year 22-23 tentative Port Authority budget resolution with any appropriate changes. B, following that, the board will reconvene at the Board of County Commissioners and will proceed as follows. 1, brief overview of the Lee County's fiscal year 22-23 proposed budget presented by the Assistant County Manager, CFO. 2, presentation of the Lee County budget's total budget by Assistant County Manager, CFO, including discussion of percentage increases of millage or the rollback rate needed to fund the budget and the specific purposes for which ad valorem taxes revenues are being increased. Florida Statute 200-065, paragraph 2E1. Presentation of the special taxing units proposed tentative millages will by the MSTU project manager. Public comment for all budget issues under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners. This will be your only opportunity to comment on all budgets the Board of County Commissioners has authority over. There will be no other opportunity during this hearing to provide your comments. Following the public comment, the Board of Commissioners, County Commissioners may comment and then take action to move for approval of A, appropriate changes, B, resolution to adopt the tentative millage, or C, the tentative budget. Consider taxing units tentative millages and budgets. 7, consider countywide tentative millage and budget. 8, consider library, unincorporated MSTU, and all hazards protection tentative millages and budgets. 9, consider all other tentative budgets. Concerning citizen comments, in order to expedite hearing for everyone, citizen comments will only be heard in the 2 public comment segments of this hearing. 1 segment of the Board of Port Commissioners and 1 for the Board of County Commissioners. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. Please do not applaud or take any other actions that might intimidate or encourage a speaker. Public comments are welcome and will be continued until everyone wishes to be addressed. The Commission has had an opportunity to speak. We will now convene the Board of Port Commissioners. We ask now the Port Deputy Executive Director to present the fiscal year 22-23 proposed budget. Morning, Brian, or good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, Brian McGonigal from the airport. Mr. Chairman, I'm just going to read this couple of paragraphs into the record here, if I may. In compliance with Florida statute, a public hearing is being held on September 6, 2022 for the purpose of adopting the tentative budget for fiscal year 22-23. The Board of Port Commissioners has acknowledged the revenue estimates necessary to fund the Port Authority budget for fiscal year 22-23. The Board of County Commissioners is now convened as the Board of Port Commissioners for adoption of the tentative Port Authority budget. The budget 22-23, as shown by the attached schedules, is made a part of this resolution and is proposed for adoption of the tentative budget for Lee County Port Authority for 22-23. Commissioners, there's been no adjustments since we presented the budget to you back at the airport in June.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
At this time, the Commission will be pleased to hear any citizens' comments concerning the Port Authority's tentative budget 22-23. Any public comment for the Port Authority? Being none, we'll come back. This now concludes the public comment segment regarding the Port Authority. I will now ask for a motion to adopt the tentative budget for Port Authority 22-23.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Any objections? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we will reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners. We will begin asking that if any constitutional officer or court-related service organization desires to make a budget presentation, to please step forward to the podium one at a time to make your statements. Any comments for any constitutionals here? Kevin Carter, thank you for being here. No comment? Okay. At this time, we ask the Assistant County Manager CFO to present the 22-23 proposed budget. Pete?
Good evening, Commissioners. This is the public hearing as required by Chapters 129 and 200 Florida statutes. Chapter 200, as amended, requires that a public hearing on the budgets be preceded by notice of the hearing. Such notice was provided by the proposed tax notice sent to the property owners by the Lee County property appraiser. At this time, we will read the proposed millages, rollback rates, and the proposed percentage change from the rollback rate for the county's general fund, library, unincorporated area MSTU, all hazards, and special taxing units millages. We will then take public input, and after public input, we will return to the board for discussion and vote on the millages. These proposed millages are established to pay for the fiscal year 22-23 continuation budget. Commissioners, just briefly, you received a memo from the county manager on August 31st, which was pursuant to your last budget workshop on August 16th. And the changes since August 16th are what has been incorporated in the budget include a general fund tax rate being reduced from 3.8623 mils to 3.7623 mils. A 5% pay adjustment has been included for BOCC employees in all funds, and an $85 million general fund minimum reserve has been established for September 30th, 2023. Additionally, increases in proposed budgets were primarily due to inflationary impacts, including operating costs such as rising costs for fuel, chemicals, asphalt, other products, and increases in vendor contracts, compensation adjustments, and costs associated with maintaining service levels due to our area's rapid growth. The countywide millage, the proposed countywide millage is 3.7623 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of 3.3996 mils per thousand of taxable value. The proposed millage is a 10.67% increase from the rollback rate. Lee County Library, the proposed Lee County Library millage is 0.4714 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of 0.4135 mils per thousand of taxable value. The proposed millage is a 14% increase from the rollback rate. Lee County Unincorporated Area MSTU, the proposed Lee County Unincorporated Area MSTU millage is 0.8398 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of 0.7375 mils per thousand of taxable value. The proposed millage is a 13.87% increase from the rollback rate. Lee County All Hazards Protection District. The proposed Lee County All Hazards Protection District millage is 0.0693 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of 0.0604 mils per thousand of taxable value. This represents a 14.74% increase from the rollback rate. Municipal services taxing / benefit units. The municipal services taxing / benefit units allow communities to tax themselves to pay for added services such as streetlights, dredging, road paving, and landscaping. For those units that have citizen committees, the budgets for next year were approved by the committees, and the tax rate is a reflection of what is required to pay the annual costs. For those that don't have citizen committees, the county charges a rate that pays for annual costs while maintaining a small operational reserve for variances in revenues and unanticipated costs. I will now read into the record the proposed millage rates, the rollback rates, and the percentage change from the rollback rate for each of the special taxing units millages. Alabama Groves Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.6000, which is a 35.01% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4444. Bayshore Estates Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 1.3000, which is a 40.80% increase over the rollback rate of 0.9233. Billy Creek Commercial Commercial Center Light, MSTU, proposed millage of 0.2295, which is a 20.16% increase over the rollback rate of 0.1910. Burkdale Street Light, MSTU, proposed millage of 0.2850, which is a 30.08% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2191. Burnt Store Fire, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 2.3000, which is a 9.06% increase over the rollback rate of 2.1090. Charleston Park, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 1.6500, which is a 26.02% increase over the rollback rate of 1.3093. Cypress Lake Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.3650, which is a 13.39% increase over the rollback rate of 0.3219. Daughtry Creek Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.7800, which is a 32.77% increase over the rollback rate of 0.5875. Flamingo Bay Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.3370, which is a 22.59% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2749. Fort Myers Shores Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.1800, which is a 15.38% increase over the rollback rate of 0.1560. Fort Myers Villas Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.2350, which is a 20.70% increase over the rollback rate of 0.1947. Gasparilla Island MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.0478, which is a 5.75% increase over the rollback rate of 0.0452. Harlem Heights Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.6300, which is a 32.77% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4745. Hyman Apollo Street Light Unit MSTU, proposed millage rate of 1.2000, which is a 28.91% increase over the rollback rate of 0.9309. Hendry Creek Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.3950, which is a 33.85% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2951. Iona Gardens Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.5600, which is 23.13% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4548. Lehigh Acres Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.7460, which is 16.54% increase over the rollback rate of 0.6401. Lockmore Village Light MSTU, proposed millage is 0.5100, which is 26.65% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4027. Maravilla Fire District MSTU, proposed millage rate of 3.1000, which is a 14.20% increase over the rollback rate of 2.7146. McGregor Isles O&M Special Improvement Unit, proposed millage rate of 0.3940, which is a 32.44% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2975. Mobile Haven Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.50 5400, which is 22.09% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4423. North Shores Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.3500, which is a 36.40% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2566. North Fort Myers Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.1950, which is a 35.70% increase over the rollback rate of 0.1437. Northeast Hurricane Bay MSTU, proposed millage rate of 1.0000 is a 12.27% increase over the rollback rate of 0.8907. Page Park Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.2444, which is a 12.21% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2178. Palmetto Point, this should be Palmetto Point Special Improvement, MSTU, a proposed millage rate of 1.5000, which is an increase of 128.10% increase over the rollback rate of 0.6576. Just to let you know that this unit is saving up reserves in order to do another dredge, and that's the reason for the increase. Palmona Park Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 1.2500, which is a 28.46% increase over the rollback rate of 0.9731. Pine Manor Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.4750, which is a 17.60% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4039. Port Edison Light, proposed millage rate of 0.3900, which is a 17.19% increase over the rollback rate of 0.3328. Riverdale Shores Improvement, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 1.7500, which is a 27.25% increase over the rollback rate of 1.3752. Russell Park Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.5950, which is a 24.29% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4787. San Carlos Island Lighting Unit, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.0600, which is a 42.52% increase over the rollback rate of 0.0421. San Carlos Special Improvement, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.2725, which is a 15.86% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2352. Skyline Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 1.370, which is a 26.73% increase over the rollback rate of 0.1081. St. Jude Harbor Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.2400, which is an 18.40% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2027. Tanglewood Improvement MSTU, proposed millage of 1.0000 is 14.34% increase over the rollback rate of 0.8746. Town and River Improvement, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.2870, which is 11.98% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2563. Trailwinds Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.5055, which is a 15.86% increase over the rollback rate of 0.4363. Tropic Isles Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.5100, which is a 32.78% increase over the rollback rate of 0.3841. Usepa Island Fire, MSTU, 4.1000, which is a 73.12% increase over the rollback rate of 2.3683. That unit is increasing staffing levels. Villa Palms Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.6900, which is 27.92% increase over the rollback rate of 0.5394. Villa Pines Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.2955, which is a 22.16% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2419. Waterway Estates Light, MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.2850, which is a 24.67% increase over the rollback rate of 0.2286. Waterway Shores Light MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.6400, which is 21.24% increase over the rollback rate of 0.5279. Whiskey Creek Improvement MSTU, proposed millage rate of 0.9999, which is a 12.83% increase over the rollback rate of 0.8862.
Good job, Pete.
Any adjustments? The previously read fiscal year 2022-23 special unit taxing unit millages are proposed for tentative adoption. Any percentage in the proposed millage over the rollback rate reflected above is due to a combination of increased electric costs, additional landscaping, and other future projects. If no changes are made after public comment, only one motion to adopt will be required, as the resolution includes all of these taxing units.
Thank you. Good job, Pete. Roger, you should keep him around a couple more years. One more? Yeah. At this time, the commission will be pleased to hear any citizens' comments concerning any budgets under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners. Again, for those members of the public who have come in following the opening of the hearing, this will be your only opportunity to comment on all budgets the Board of County Commissioners has authority over. There will be no other opportunity during this hearing to provide your comments. At this time, we'll ask for public comment. Please come forward, sir. Just state your name for the record, and thanks for coming down.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Christopher Plampin. My wife, Marta Plampin, and I are residents of unincorporated Fort Myers. We do oppose the proposed county millage rate of 3.762% and believe it should be rolled back to the rollback rate of 3.3996%. The reason for that is it's a 10.67% increase, and we note that that's above the inflation rate. It's above the pay raises that we've gotten over the past 2 years, which have been 1.75% over the past 2 years. We do understand the need for service levels. We understand that the county has inflation rates. We think the 5% pay raise for the employees may be a bit much. So we basically believe that the taxing increase should be as little as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Is your wife speaking, sir, or just you? Okay. Any other public comment at this time? Okay, I will close public comment. This concludes the public comment segment of the hearing. I will now ask for a motion to adopt the tentative millage resolution for special taxing units. This is for the special taxing unit.
Mr. Chairman, before I make the motion, just wanted to confirm with Mr. Winton again. On the special taxing units, we read many of those increases, because they're lighting districts, I assume were related to power cost adjustments?
Yes, increased energy costs from both FPL and LCEC, as well as some units are adding additional streetlights.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion as requested.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, we have a second, and on that topic, since you asked a question about the cost increase, so each one of these communities, where you're watching this meeting, if you're not aware that these districts occur because people ask for these services and they ask for the higher level services, and also it's not because I know it's easy for us to say due to growth. It's not, these fee increases not due to growth. It's because the increase of fees and fuel and other commodities we're seeing as a society right now. So it's not because of growth, it's because of the costs we're having to incur because of the national level. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objections? No objection. I will now ask for a motion to adopt the tentative budgets for the above stated taxing units for fiscal year 22-23.
Mr. Chair, I'll move approval.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? No objection. Motion carries. We will now ask the Assistant County Manager, CFO, to proceed with the countywide millages and budgets.
The proposed countywide millage is 3.7623 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of 3.3996 mils per thousand of taxable value. The proposed millage is a 10.67% increase from the rollback rate.
Okay. I will now ask for a motion to adopt the tentative countywide millage resolution.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a question? Mr. Winton, what does the Save Our Homes Act accomplish?
So if you have a homestead exemption, this is your primary residence, and you're available for the Save Our Homes benefit, then your assessed value is only going up by 3% this year. So you have market value, then you have assessed value, which start out the same. But if you have Save Our Homes benefit and you have a homestead exemption, your market value may go up by 10, 20, 30%. Your Save Our Homes, your assessed value will only go up by 3%. So you'll kind of see this happen over time, and that assessed value in between your market value and your assessed value could be like $150,000. That's $150,000 of assessed value that you're not paying taxes on because you've accumulated the Save Our Homes benefit. So if you're homesteaded, your assessed value will go up by no more than 3%.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Can I follow up? Thanks.
Right.
So Pete, just to quantify that in dollars and cents, that does then limit the amount of revenue we're able to collect on that particular situation, correct?
Yes.
And I know there's another inequity that most people don't realize when it comes to commercial values on the amount you can cap it to or is capped at. So again, would you explain that just for the record?
So it's equivalent to the residential homestead exemption and this, not the homestead exemption, but the Save Our Homes benefit, the commercial property can only go up, is capped at 10% a year. So it can only go up 10%.
So is it fair to say that our revenues aren't necessarily reflected in the 15% increase? It's limited by both Save Your Home and commercial as well?
Correct. And a portion of that increase is new construction.
Correct. I think that's important for us to all recognize, just the different ways that revenue is constricted, and we all need to understand that. So when you see a blanket increase, there's limitations we have, A, on Save Your Home, B, on commercials. So the revenue is certainly, obviously decreased. So it's not just calculate one by the other. I think the public needs to understand that. Yeah. And I appreciate your comment, Commissioner Hammond. I just wanted to follow up with the quantification of the dollars and cents.
I think yeah, I agree, Mr. Chairman, if I may. Yeah, I agree, Commissioner Ruane. It's a hard thing to explain to people to help them understand, because you hear the rollback of 10.67%, and that sounds like that's the increase you should expect. But many people, when they got their trim notices, saw that maybe even they were getting a reduction in their property taxes. So on many of these lines, because we took the step of reducing the millage again this year. And so, I think it's important to make sure that, people understand that there is protection for the majority of people who call this their permanent residence and have it homesteaded, that it protects them from being taxed out of their homes.
You're 100% correct. Actually, my property tax went down this year, which is amazing considering the assessed value.
Right.
I'll gladly make a motion to approve.
We have a
I'll
motion.
second.
And we have a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. I want to ask the motion to adopt the tentative countywide budget for fiscal year 22-23.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Pete?
The proposed Lee County Library millage is .4714 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of .4135 mils per thousand of taxable value. The proposed millage is a 14.00% increase from the rollback rate.
I want to ask the motion to adopt the tentative Lee County Library millage resolution.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion carries. I will now ask for a motion to adopt the tentative Lee County Library budget for 22-23.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion, and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion carries. Pete?
The proposed Lee County unincorporated area MSTU millage is 0.8398 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of 0.7375 mils per thousand of taxable value. Proposed millage is a 13.87% increase from the rollback rate.
I will now ask for a motion to adopt the tentative millage resolution for Lee County unincorporated area MSTU.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. I will now ask for a motion to adopt the tentative budget for the Lee County unincorporated areas MSTU for fiscal year 22-23.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Pete?
The proposed Lee County All Hazards Protection District millage is 0.0693 mils per thousand taxable value compared to the rollback rate of 0.0604 mils per thousand of taxable value. This represents a 14.74% increase from the rollback rate.
I want to ask for a motion to adopt the tentative millage resolution for Lee County All Hazards Protection District.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion goes. I want to ask for a motion to adopt the tentative budget for Lee County All Hazard Protection District for fiscal year 22-23.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? No objection. Pete?
Lee County, all other budgets for the board's adoption tonight make up the rest of the total county budget proposed for next year. These are funds that are not supported by a millage and include significant operations such as utilities, solid waste, visitor and convention bureau, transit, toll facilities, and those budgets funded through grants from other entities. These budgets are included as part of the total Lee County budget and are detailed in the budget summary in your materials.
I want to ask for a motion to adopt the tentative Lee County All Other Budgets.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion second. Any discussion? Any objection? No objection. Motion carries. Pete?
In compliance with Florida statutes, this public hearing is being held on September 6, 2022, for the purpose of the adoption of the tentative total Lee County budget for fiscal year 22-23, and the Board of County Commissioners has now adopted the tentative millage rates necessary to fund the budget. The proposed total Lee County budget for fiscal year 22-23, shown in the budget summary reports, which outlines each fund and is made part of the total budget resolution, is now being proposed for adoption as the tentative total Lee County budget of Lee County, Florida for fiscal year 22-23.
Thank you. I want to ask for a motion to adopt the tentative total Lee County budget for the year's fiscal 22-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion carries. There being no other further business, we are adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.